it's really rainy outside today and, well, all week actually. So I thought it's been forever. I've only ever recorded 2 videos. I thought, why not? I've got some time. It's a little bit rainy, just waiting. Gonna go out with my boyfriend later. So I figured I would go ahead and give you my summertime everyday makeup and foundation routine, seeing as it's the 1st of July today. And I just thought it would be really appropriate. So actually what I like to do is take my daily moisturizer, and this is the Target brand, the Up and Up brand of the Aveeno Positively Radiant Daily Moisturizer. But I found the Target brand works just as well. So I take 1 pump on the back of my hand, like that. You see? Like that. And I just take my foundation. I'm going to be using, what am I using? I'm going to use Revlon PhotoReady makeup, and I'm in the color 005 Natural Beige. Looks like that. And I just take that and I put 1 pump right in the center of the moisturizer. Then I just take my finger and I sort of pat them together. Just mix it on the back of my hand, and then just sort of dot it on my face. And I like to start from the center of my face and work outward. So I just put a little bit on there. And using the Sonia Kashuk flat top brush, I just work it in small circular motions, just like this. Make sure you cover your ears along your jawline. I find that by doing my makeup this way, it not only moisturizes my skin, but it just helps the foundation to stick to my face a little bit better because I'm not splitting this process into 2. And I know so many people swear by primers, but honestly I haven't tried tons of them, but I haven't found one that I like the feeling on my skin. I don't like to feel products sitting on my face, and I feel like with primer that's all it's doing. It's just smoothing over your face and then you're layering everything on top, and I just don't like that feeling at all. So like I said, I choose not to use a primer, and I would rather just apply my foundation and then blot the oil throughout the day. For me, that's what works best. So I'm just going to go ahead and put another dot on the other cheek, like that. I'm just going to finish the rest of my face. Take it down your neck just to make sure that it blends with your face. You don't want to look like you're wearing a makeup mask. That's why it's important to extend your makeup past your jawline and down onto your neck. So just make sure you're choosing a foundation that matches your skin tone. And in the summertime, I recommend actually having a different color than you would in the wintertime, because you're going to be in the sun more, you're just going to be outside, and your skin's going to naturally have more color. And you don't want to be using that foundation from the wintertime that's a shade 001 when you really need to be 3 or 4. So just make sure that your foundation matches your skin for the season. When you're done with your foundation, I like to apply concealer under my eyes to hide either dark circles or just, I don't know if you can tell, but the coloring under my skin is more yellow, and it's a thinner area of skin. I just use concealer to cover that. If you don't have any problems with your under eye area, then by all means skip this step. I'm going to be using the Sonia Kashuk Hidden Agenda Concealer Palette, and it looks like this. But I'm going to be using mostly this lightest shade with a little bit of the darker shade mixed in. For this, I'm going to be using this limited edition Sonia Kashuk. It's just a domed eyeshadow brush, as you can see it there. Super, super soft, and it does not shed hairs in my concealer, so it's my favorite brush for buffing in under eye concealer. Like I said, I'm just going to take a little bit on the brush, dot it under my eyes. Using the same motion as when I applied my foundation, small circles, I'm going to buff this out. I've been using a blotting powder a lot more frequently lately just because I find it helps the makeup to stay just a tad bit longer. For this, I'm going to be using Maybelline's Dream Matte Powder, and I use the shade 02, right? No, just kidding. Honey Medium 3-4. I'm going to be using a Sonia Kashuk Duo Fiber Powder Blush Brush. It looks like this. Super, super soft, and it helps just to create a light dusting, not a cakey speckled on, you know, crusty coating of makeup across your forehead and nose. And I just like to swirl the brush in the powder, tap off the excess, and just buff it in. I don't particularly like an incredibly matte finish on my face, but the oil is going to shine through soon enough, and I would rather start out with a matte finish and end with a satin finish than start out with a satin finish and end with a completely greasy finish. That's just my own personal preference. If you don't like powders, then skip this step by all means. Okay, that's pretty much the base of my foundation routine. The next thing, I do it almost every day, and I'm going to prep my eyelids for any eyeshadow that I'm going to choose to wear. If you just want to go completely natural, then this is where I would stop. But I'm going to be using the NYX eyeshadow base, and I'm going to be using the skin tone shade. And I'm going to go back with that same brush that I used to buff in my concealer, just tap it a few times, and then swirl it on my eyelids. I say eyelids, but actually, make sure you're taking the product all the way up to your eyebrow if you're going to be using a highlight shade all the way up to your brow bone. Using my Too Faced Natural Eye Palette, I'm going to be taking this center shade right here called Silk Teddy. It's a gorgeous champagne neutral. I'm going to be taking that on a MAC 217 brush. Looks like this. This is my favorite brush for applying colors all the way from lid to brow bone, which is what I'm going to do with this color, Silk Teddy. Just get a little bit on the brush, and then really pack it onto the eyelids. This is going to help prevent eyeshadow from falling out under the eye, and it's also going to help really smudge the color into that eyeshadow base that you put on earlier. It'll just help to make your eyeshadow last so much longer. And then just blend it all the way up to the brow bone. Okay, using that same 217 brush, I'm going to go in with MAC eyeshadow in Patina. It's just a gorgeous, shimmery, it's almost a greenish brown, which Patina, that makes sense, it's green on copper. But I'm just going to go in with the same 217, pick up a little bit of that product and apply it to the outer corner and sweep it through the crease. There we go. Once again, using the same 217 brush, I'm going to be going in with MAC Satin Taupe, which is one of my favorite eyeshadows. And just the tiniest amount on the I don't even know if you'll be able to see this, but just the tiniest amount on the tip of the brush, and sweep that through the crease. Okay, then using a Sonia Kashuk tapered blending brush, looks like this. It's fantastic for blending out. I'm just going to sweep this right along the upper line of where we've used the Satin Taupe, between my brow bone and my crease, just to blend out that edge to make it a lot softer. You can also do this around the outer corner if you find that it's a little too harsh right in this peak right here. Go ahead and just blend it using circular motions. Then I'm going to fill in any gaps and try to match the shape of my two eyebrows, going back to my Too Faced Natural Eye Palette. And I'm going to be using these two top matte shades blended together, and it's called Velvet Revolver and Sexpresso. There. I'm going back to my natural eye palette. I love this thing for every day. It has the perfect range of colors for everyday looks. But I'm going to be taking this center shimmery shade, Erotica. I'm just going to be using that as an eyeliner. Your next step is going to be to apply your bronzer. So I tend to concentrate bronzer along my hairline at the temples of my forehead, in the hollows of your cheeks, which if you make a fish face, it's where your cheeks suck in, and along your jawline. This really helps to define this shadow, and if you have a double chin or if you're just feeling insecure under your chin, it just helps to sort of create a shadow to make your face look thinner. I'm going to go ahead and take my bronzer today, which I'm going to be using Hoola by Benefit, and my Samantha Chapman Real Techniques. It's called the powder brush, but I love it for bronzer. The tapered shape is really great for getting in the hollows of your cheeks, and it's super, super soft. Like, it feels like you're just rubbing a teddy bear all over your face. It is so soft. I love this brush. And I just picked this up the other day. I went to Ulta. Got a bunch of things. I got the NYX Rouge Cream Blush, and this is in the shade 05 Glow. I love this. Oh my gosh, it is such a pretty color. It is just that perfect peachy, well, not so much peachy. It's not even peachy at all. I don't know why I said peachy. It's just that perfect pink glow that looks great on your cheeks. So I just swirl it on my finger, smile, and I just dab it on the apples of my cheeks. Just like that. I'm going to be using a Sigma F15 Duo Fiber Powder Blush Brush. I don't like to keep my blush just on the apples of my cheeks, so as I'm working it, I sweep it up. You may need to kind of kiss the side of your face a little bit to make it taut so that you can really blend this cream product out. Then taking Revlon Grow Luscious by Fabulash Mascara, looks like this. I love this mascara. It has, I love the new plasticky wands, but this one just has a really fat jumbo wand, and it applies mascara beautifully. You're just going to work that into your lashes. And I'm just going to apply one coat because this is a daytime look, and I don't want my lashes to look too heavy. So I'm going to be using Rimmel Sexy Curves Waterproof Mascara. It's called Full Volume and Curve Mascara. This mascara has a really unique wand. It's like 3 little spheres all side by side. You see that? It's a crazy wand, but I love the look you get on your lower lashes, so I'm just going to lightly apply this to my lower lash line. And you know, you have to make that goofy face you look that when you're putting on mascara, so that's just the way it always works. I'm going to be using my NYX Mega Shine Lip Gloss in the color Natural. Is this Natural? No, just kidding. Oh, it is Natural. Okay, I'm going to be using it in the color Natural. The only thing I hate about this lip gloss is the scent. It smells like when you get something bubblegum flavored. Not actual bubblegum, but you know what I'm talking about? Like if you get bubblegum ice cream or like bubblegum flavored candy or something like that, it has that scent, and it doesn't taste like that, it just smells like it, and it's kind of like sickeningly sweet, and I just don't like the smell. A lot of you probably love the smell of this lip gloss. Me, not so much. I'm just going to dab that on my lips, and that's probably going to be it. Alright guys, and that's my finished look. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Feel free to email me or contact me on Twitter. I also have a Facebook page, and I'll link all of this in the bottom bar below, along with all the products that I've used. And like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!